huge escalation in the war in the last few days. The ceasefire has crumbled. In the latest, we have a statement coming in from the IRGC. So Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps is saying that Patriot Raider, the air control radar of US Navy's 5th Fleet, and the CRAM, which is a CRAM early warning radar system, that they have been destroyed. So Iran has made a huge claim. And at this stage, the Control and Monitoring Center for Unmanned Guided Boats have also been destroyed. Latest coming in, Iran now talking about how it is hitting hard and striking back. For now, Donald Trump has said that they have hit Iran very hard in the latest strikes after Hormuz continues to be the battle zone. Going across to Mayank, my colleague, and Akanksha, who are with us. The war, there is no let-up, Mayank. IRGC claims that Patriot Raider, the air control radar of the US Navy's 5th Fleet, and also a CRAM early warning radar system, they've all been destroyed. What's the latest that you're tracking?
Shagarika, their tactics had been that they are destroying everything which can be like a sensor or a seeker. For any aim to be made from the US side, there has to be multiple ways, and on one of them is radars, which are ground-based radars. There can be air-based radars also, which can be targeted through using drones and all. But in this case, what is being proclaimed is that radars which are encircling the Strait of Hormuz and look into Iran, they are getting destroyed one after the other, as per the claims made by Iranian side. This is to blunt the capability to seek or home into the targets towards the Iranian side. And they have also been destroying or trying to attack the bases which are used as launching pads, whether it's for drones or it's for aircrafts or for any kind of elements or offensive elements which are from the other countries which are based around the Strait of Hormuz other than Iran. And that's why they are destroying not only attacking the bases but logistical centers also, administrative centers also, so that in no way, not only the planning is blunted, the congregation is also blunted, so that the communication lines, they become a little blurred or ambiguous. So this is the span of the operations is in such a way that the Iranians are trying to hit the capabilities of the US forces.
But the fighting right now, Mayank, is only flaring up in and around the Strait of Hormuz. And right now, there's a huge concern for India. Going across to Akanksha, 9 vessels, more than 190 seafarers who are still stranded in the Strait of Hormuz. And very unfortunate news coming in of the death of an Indian sailor, and also 8 injured after these Iranian missiles, Akanksha, hit UAE tankers in the Hormuz. What's the latest that you're tracking when it comes to the response from the government?
Right. So we are being told that the Ministry of External Affairs is going to be holding a press conference at 4 p.m. today where you can expect our questions to be answered. There are burgeoning concerns with regards to the lives of Indian seafarers. One of them has been lost today in one of those UAE super tankers. Mombasa was the one which had the Indian seafarer who got killed. Just 2 days ago, it was GFX Galaxy, which had one of our 3rd engineers who still remember missing. There are absolutely no whereabouts that our authorities have been able to sort of find out. There's also a statement that's come out, Sagrika, by the Forward Seamen's Union of India, or the FSUI. It's a very hard-hitting statement. They've named all of those commercial vessels, whether it is MT Setabello, MT Celestial, Marivax, Jalveer, Galaxy, Skylight, Safe Sea, Vishnu, Mombasa. They're saying that we will keep counting the deaths of our seafarers every day, or will the government finally act one after another? The martyrdom of our brave Indian seafarers, daily danger in the Hormuz Strait, families are crying. So clearly you can see there's no protection being provided to the seafarers. At the same time, we at Times Now have been reaching out to these seafarers unions, and they all have been saying that seafarers are advised to, verify the vessels before they are embarking on their jobs in terms of whether these vessels are taking the right administrative route, the ones that are prescribed. Their navigation systems should not be turned off, because this is what the IRGC is stating, that the navigation system of Mombasa and Al-Bayya was both off. They fired those warning shots, but they have not named these two vessels, unlike the UAE statement of condemnation. They've also gone on to use the term rogue super tankers for these two vessels. They're saying that they were going through the Omani waters, which were mined, which is why we fired those warning shots. Nonetheless, that's not a justification, given that we've lost a life, that too of an Indian national, a country that has been a close ally to the Iranians as well. So we'll have to see what the statement coming out from India's foreign ministry is going to be. Is there going to be a formal protest lodged with the Iranian ambassador or not?
All right, so all eyes are going to be on that response that's set to come in this evening. I want both of you to stay with us, because there's more news coming in, because the Iranian strikes come after US Central Command said that it completed the latest wave of strikes against Iran. And during the 5-hour-long operation, US forces say that they struck military targets across Iran, including targets in Bushehr, in Chabahar, in Jask, in Abu Musa and in Bandar Abbas. And like we've been telling you, the fighting has been flaring up around the Strait of Hormuz. The stated aim of the United States right now is to degrade Iran's ability to attack commercial shipping. So CENTCOM has also said that its forces attacked Iranian coastal defense systems, missile and drone sites. As per the latest statement that's coming in from CENTCOM, more than 50,000 US service members are currently deployed across the Middle East, and American forces remain vigilant, lethal and also ready. So that's the version coming in from the United States. With that, there's more breaking news coming in. Jordan's military has now said that it has intercepted 4 missiles launched by Iran. So in the latest, Jordan has said that 4 missiles have that were launched by Iran, they've been intercepted. So the region once again back on tenterhooks. US military bases in the Gulf also have come under attack. Going across once again to Mayank. Mayank, for now, both sides are claiming control over the Strait of Hormuz. We know the statement that came in from the United States, and also Donald Trump repeatedly, in fact, since the beginning of the war, has been saying that Iran's capabilities have been, have been largely diminished. If that is the case, then what about the situation that's unfolding right now?
Sharika, you have summarized the entire process which has been taking place here, but then the important point which comes out in this statement of CENTCOM, Central Command, which is based in Bahrain, is that they are hitting the military targets, which is very important for the region, because otherwise the operations will start against the civilian bases also, which can be desalination plants. Now, coming specifically back, right from the beginning, when 28th of February the operation started, there were 3 major targets or aims of the Operation Epic Fury and Roaring Lion as well. Those were to change the regime, to blunt the capability of Iran to acquire capability to assemble nuclear weapon, and also to blunt their capability to produce missiles and support their proxies. Do we see that any let up in that? Because we see since 2 days Times Now has been reporting and bringing out every case of attack which is taking place on almost 6 countries which are encircling the Strait of Hormuz, and then cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, drones of multiple types, they are being fired from the Iranian side. Isn't it complication of the situation? Because in that case, now they are coming out with a statement, which is IRGC has come out with a statement saying that they are destroying the rhododromes. They are destroying the capability of US forces to operate unmanned sea vessels also. What we see is it's expansion of the complication of the targets. And is it raising the threshold? That we have to see, because with the kind of operations which are taking place, the threshold may rise. But then ultimately, the sufferers will be across the globe, because stoppage of all kind of movement within the Strait of Hormuz is quite normal now.
Okay.
Because not any vessel which is taking permission from IRGC, will be allowed to move from that side.
So Hormuz is burning. The war is far from over. The war has returned. The ceasefire is over. Let's actually tell our viewers about what has happened in the last 7 to 10 days and how these are incidents that are raising concerns globally. Incident number 1, where 1 person was killed, 6 injured. We're talking about the attack on UAE tankers, Mombasa and Al Bahia. The total impact on Indian seafarers so far is 1 sailor is confirmed dead, 1 is missing, 6 are injured within 1 week itself. Incident number 2 in the last 7 days, 1 Indian crew member has been unaccounted for. Akansha has been pointing out what has happened in the last few days, or 1 has been still missing following the maritime attack on GFS Galaxy. So these are 2, that is why there is a concern when it comes to the safety of Indian seafarers and also Indian vessels. Going across to Akansha, my colleague who's with us. Akansha, both sides right now, be it US or Iran, both sides are claiming control over the Strait of Hormuz. But what is the reality?
In fact, if you were to look at the geographical advantage and the strategic advantage to it, clearly falls in place with the Iranians. And they are the ones who have already declared that they are in talks with the Omanis to come up with that toll fee, something that has been sharply now contradicted by the US president. It's also being seen as a sharp U-turn, even more so after paragraph 5 in the MOU, which was forged in June, has gone on to talk about Iranian arrangements and a toll fee being levied by Iran after 60 days of this MOU getting forged, which Iran will be talking with Oman to split. This was something that was already pre-decided. So for the US president to now step forward and say that it will be the United States which will be levying a toll fee worth 20% is leaving not just this region, but the entire global economy and the shipping industry in a lurch, because still they do not settle the issue of the toll fee. Remember, the entire region will remain on tenterhooks with the lives of those many seafarers, not just Indians, but even, say, from countries like Ukraine, Russia, many of them belonging to West Asian nations, and so many of them from Africa also remains at huge risk.
Right. Thank you so much, both Akansha and Mayank, for joining us on this broadcast. Let's quickly shift our focus to more that we can tell you about what's happening in the Hormuz standoff, because that has taken a dramatic new turn. US President Donald Trump has also announced that a naval blockade will be reimposed once again. The location spans the Persian Gulf, the Sea of Oman, and the Strait of Hormuz. Donald Trump has also made it clear that global shipping will be allowed to pass through, but not Iranian ships and ships of countries doing business with Iran. What does that mean? So not just that, Donald Trump also said that United States will charge 20% fee for cargo shipped through. And now in a threat to Iran, he said, I'm going to quote from what he said, we are doing another very major attack on Iran soon.
I think it's going very fast. We've demolished their military. We're hitting them very hard. We had a deal yesterday or the day before yesterday. It was all done. And then they broke up that deal immediately because they found out there was something in the deal they didn't like. And they're wired differently, and we're not going to put up with it. We are just going forward. We're attacking them tonight. We're taking out all of their capability for anything having to do with the Strait, with the Hormuz Strait. And I think in the end, we will end up just controlling the whole thing. And what they're doing is being very foolish, very stupid, and they've treated people horribly.
So is Donald Trump the guardian of the Strait of Hormuz? What does Iran have to say? Let's take you through the response coming in from Iran. Iran is mocking Donald Trump, and Abbas Araghchi, the foreign minister of Iran, has said that US President Donald Trump is absolutely right. That is, in his sarcasm, he says, safe passage through Hormuz, yes, it must be paid for. And Iran will forever remain the guardian of the Strait. 20% is, of course, too much. We will be fair. So war of words, war of narratives, and the war in itself is escalating with that. It's time for us to slip into a short commercial break. Stay with Times Now. We'll be back with more news and updates.